Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot I was muted. Fuck.
I know.
Eh.
Name change.
Ah.
Same for you, Mitch.
I know, I'm doing it right now.
I love how we all realized it at the wrong fucking time. It's like we all did it.
I did it. I mean, I'm like, I still stared at it for like 2 minutes. Like, what is my name? What be my name? I need to add. I'll add
How you know you're in too many games?
Yes.
Honestly.
It's like Rihanna. Oh, Nana. What's my name?
Dear God, what's my name?
Oh, dear God, what's my name?
For me, it's like, okay, which of my chaotic personality traits am I exhibiting today?
Alright. Let's check to make sure it actually shows that I'm live. It does!
Holy
Whoa.
shit, Zinzi's has the highest hit points of the group?
I am squishy wizard. Leave me alone.
I could take you out with just... I could take you out in 2 shots.
Yeah,
Oh.
thanks.
Zinzi's is the smallest, but she is the tank.
She's a ranged tank.
She's a range tank.
That is.
She's
legitimately
a
thing.
literal tank!
Yeah, that's legitimately a thing. And there's been a couple games where you're a tanking role, but you're ranged. So you shoot over here, and you run over here, and you shoot
She's
over
not-
here, and they chase you.
She's not quite Panzer level yet. She's still kind of a Sherman.
Still, like, Shermans.
Shermans will eat your shit.
No, she's currently a shaman, but what we need here to get is to an Abrams.
Yeah.
No, Tiger. Tigers are tank killers.
Yeah. Well, no. What's the Panzer IIIs? Yeah, the Panzer III was the small, zippy one.
Panzers were the more streamlined, zippy ones that didn't have a lot of firepower, but were zippy and just hard to hit.
Yeah.
Then
Granted,
we had
most of what I know about tanks I learned through World of Tanks. Because I got addicted to that for a while. I'm like, oh,
My
we
favorite.
did tons. We managed to exercise the factory floor. Fucking Russian.
The thing is, for the life of me, I couldn't like bring myself to like ride in a German tank because I felt dirty.
Like, oh, this is, oh no. I tell you,
I'm in a tank that killed my granddaddy's best friend. Fuck.
I eventually want to track down if it survived the war, I actually want to track down the tank my grandfather operated. I don't know. It's a long shot, but my granddaddy was he was a tank operator for the U.S. military in Germany and spoke German, which was a double-edged sword because people got skeeved out by people who could speak German. Hey!
Hello?
Hello.
Ta-da!
We are already live, just so you are aware.
Oh, good.
Just don't know where Brian is. So
Oh.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, when was Helen in this campaign?
He usually doesn't wake from the
Oh,
dead
hang on.
until announcements.
Yeah, I tried calling him and sending him messages. He's probably dead to the world, but his sleep schedule has been so horrendous lately.
Sorry.
Yep.
Brian! 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 Brian, 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 Brian! Where the fuck are you?
There.
I just sent that to the Humblewood group.
I don't want us to have to postpone, and I know this is a point where I've been like, oh, we'll just,
Brian.
like, not play if we don't have somebody, but we might just today anyway, because I don't want to get in the way of his need for much needed rest.
The need for sleep.
Wanna see some real sleep.
You want to read some,
Oh,
some real sleep?
He popped in the chat. So hello, Altair. It has been a long time since I have seen you. Hi.
Yeah, it has been quite a while. Hello.
Who's the one shot?
Yeah.
Also, Altair, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Shaori.
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 Yes.
Just
Shaori.
so I know now, so I don't butcher it later.
That is perfectly fine.
Well, we might as well
Oh.
get it all started and all that.
You know.
Oh, Dom's gonna check to see if he's awake, so we'll see.
All right.
Do it.
Hello, for anyone who might be watching. How are you? Welcome to session 22 of Humblewood.
It's shoulder Nintendo's.
YMCA.
The woods of Humble.
It's how we've completely lost our sanity. We tried really hard to hold on to it, and we were unsuccessful.
I never had mine, and then my intro session, I completely lost anything I had.
I was going to say, we had sanity to begin with.
Yeah, right? Did we? I don't think
Oh,
we did.
you forget. We put it next to our mental stability. I mean, we don't know where the fuck we put those.
Well, quick announcements. I only have really the two. One being, don't forget to check out our Spotify. I don't have all link trees. I have one link tree I can post. To check out character playlists for characters from
He's alive!
He's alive!
any of the games that you've seen our goofy faces on. So, multitasking is not going so well for me. The second announcement that I have-
Fuck!
The second announcement that I have is just I have finally added to my Society 6 like 20 whole minutes ago. I have one new piece that's up there that is available. It is called Rainbow Blooms for anyone who might be interested. And it's actually me playing with filters and light a little bit more than I normally do. So check that out. Anyone else have any announcements?
I got my nose pierced.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Other than that, Star Wars Outer Rim's Misfit shirt is at the shop. Kitsune posted his t-shirt earlier today. It looked awesome. Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright, anybody else have any announcements? Anything coming for Idris Elba, or go ahead, Mitch?
So yeah, Tales of Vigor still every Thursday, midnight UK time. It's a Norse mythology based homebrew world of my design, and I am loving every second of it. And in my players are chaotic as you'd expect. Oh yeah, Altair and Sarah plays a bard, and the bard in the fourth session or fourth session,
Was it the fourth session? Technically, I think.
technically, fucked a princess.
Ooh, nice.
So we're already there.
Granted, I'm pretty sure, aside from a couple whose interests are yet to be determined, there were several people on there who would have been up for fucking the princess.
Yeah, the princess woke up that day and chose horny. As well as I have put my first listing on Teespring not 10 minutes ago, and
Nice.
it's a t-shirt of one of my favorite catchphrases that I use fairly often. and I am just going to screen share it because it's fucking hilarious.
I think that's turned on. Let me double check.
It is turned on.
It is turned on?
Yes.
Let's see if it shows.
It's taking its sweet ass time for us.
Fading into black.
Come on.
do, 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 do. Oh god, I gotta learn the Jeopardy theme for the ocarina now.
Is it showing up at all?
There it is.
Now it is. That is amazing.
So this is available in standard color hoodie, classic tee, comfort tee, women's classic tee, premium long sleeve, women's comfort tee, tank tops, long sleeve, other long sleeve shirts, and such. The prices may be a little bit high, but I did it as low as I possibly could while still making a mini profit. So don't yell at me too much. But yeah. And there is my handle on the back of it because I have to. So yeah, and there will be more coming. I'm thinking of putting quotes from campaigns on there as well as getting some.
Put this.
I soon, my
You
dear.
will
Soon.
remember this.
Soon, my dear. Soon. But yeah, I'm looking to get Tales of Yggdrasil merch and everything. So yeah, keep an eye out. I will throw I'll add it to my link tree and throw it to Sarah, who will throw it in the chat.
I threw my link tree in the chat. If someone has the general group link tree, I've never had that. And wants to throw it.
Kitsune is the one who has that.
Kitsune is the one who has that,
And
but
he's currently
streaming.
live streaming.
Yeah.
So next time. But yeah, does anyone else have any announcements?
No.
No, apart from you.
Just it feels like I need to sneeze every 5 minutes.
Other than the fact that I got my first dose of the vaccine, baby.
You got drugged up.
Hey, oh.
My arm hurts like a mother trucker.
It's gonna hurt worse tomorrow.
Ugh.
I had a little bit of a sore arm, but my energy was just gone.
Are you?
Yeah,
Are you,
I was like
Minutes.
really flipping tired today.
are you team Pfizer?
Moderna.
Moderna. I'm Pfizer here.
On Cinco de Mayo, I go to get my second dose.
Mhm.
Heyo, nice.
We'll get the vaccine and then we'll go get a beer.
I'm team Chester County can't get their shit together, so we are delayed.
That's bullshit.
Sad.
Fucking bullshit.
I heard
Fucking bullshit.
our county is like 30% for population, but only 17% for distribution. They really
Wow.
fucked up in PA when it came to how to distribute the vaccine. So we'll figure it out.
Well, hopefully you get some soon.
Alright, with that done and out of the way, let's jump into Humblewood. So, you all have been traveling for a while to the Bandit Coalition under the request of the Council, where those who presented the request to you have asked that maybe we try a peaceful solution, but they understand if that cannot be done. With that in mind, you began your travels and hit a town called Winton, where you discovered they were under the siege of gnolls and needed help. You were able to assist them with that problem before traveling on, and now you find yourselves at the base of the bandit fortress, looking up at the towering stone walls, ancient, built into the mountains. What would you like to do?
Is this new person with us?
So
I was about to say, just for clarification, I'm not there, am I?
Showery is not there.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, like how I normally run these things, I try to make sure that when new characters come in, they come in pretty organically. So the Showery is not here yet. Maybe you'll find her. We'll see. Hopefully you fucking find her.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be so awkward.
I don't know. I mean, I've got pretty shit insight, so and yeah, I'm not great detective.
I know where she is. That's all that matters.
Does anyone want to go do a tavern?
Do they have taverns inside of the
We've got to get
place?
past. Well, we have to get past the first door first, the front door first. So
You know how to do that, don't you?
yeah,
There are ways in. Getting in without people noticing, that's a little trickier.
at
Aren't
this
you
point-
guys like a bunch of bandits and thieves? You should be able to sneak around easily.
I was mainly the inner circle advisor. I was not exactly the one for sneaking and causing mischief.
I can get in.
That's
But-
happening.
I mean, I can get in, but I don't know how many of the old pathways are still open.
But at the same time, do we care about being noticed?
I mean, if we're standing in front of the gates, someone's probably already noticed.
Probably.
That's a point.
Make perception checks.
That's a good idea. Have a wee game. Yeah, I'm not fucking with the roller. Digital roller's not on my side today.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to physical dice.
Yeah.
That's a 12.
That's an 11 for me.
That's a 5 for me, but I rolled a natural 1.
Oh my god!
I don't know
We're
what I
starting off strong, everybody.
Starting off great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a 10 for me.
Mhm.
I rolled a 4. So I got a
Oh, good for
10.
you.
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna go with my lucky die.
Alright, so with all of that in mind, and maybe, just maybe,
Brian!
There he is.
Hey!
Save the day and roll perception! None of us rolled low. None of us rolled low for 12.
such shit.
We are not David. We do not have the god sight.
We
Not at all.
We've already started, and you guys are rolling perception checks and you can't stop.
He's looking up his sheet.
I hope that is instead of I hope that was a just one and not a natural one.
It's too early for that.
We've already had one. We don't need another.
It's funny you should say that because
Oh no.
right when you said that, it rolled a 1.
Oh.
God!
You're not very observant today.
Wait, do I have advantage? Because I'm awesome.
So Glenn is as tired as Brian. We know this.
Hold on. I have inspiration. I'll just reroll.
Saving my inspiration for something.
Okay, here we go. 30-20.
That's
That's-
better.
That's much better.
And I completely forgot something that I wanted to implement starting this week. So I guess we'll start it next time. Something I saw that I really loved as an idea.
Uh-huh.
If you are the person who does the recap as to leading into what we're into, you will be given inspiration.
Oh.
That'd be me most of the time because I have a very granted. If you would ask me what happened during the one shot, I would have been like,
Yeah, no, not including the one shot. Which I guess I should probably sum up the one shot too, shouldn't I?
that should probably maybe.
Bringing Shaori in. Alright, so from the one shot, I just accidentally closed out of one of the character sheets that I might need. So we had during our one shot, we met our Strig friend, Shaori, as she traveled through the Humblewood in an attempt to try and see the world for the first time, having really left her temple, got lost in the woods with a couple of newfound traveling companions and stumbled across what appeared to be an old, run-down, barely whole mansion. As soon as they entered the mansion, it seemed to spring to life, forcing them to witness the memories of the place, find their ways out of this situation, fight a ghost, and
Oh boy.
a little bit about the residents of this mansion. Upon going to sleep for the evening, she ended up heading off into the woods, one escaping the noises that she heard, the other one just out for hunting, and Shaori was awoken by a bandit hovering over her, saying, "Oh shit," and knocking her the fuck out. So, that is where Shaori was left off. Alright,
Oh, shit.
back into present time.
Ta-da!
With our perceptions, you guys do notice that these are tall walls. They're about 100 feet high. At Red, you can't really see much because this is a fucking huge place with really big doors. Gwen,
Cool.
same with you. It's kind of overwhelming. Everyone else can kind of see archers marching along the parapets. Looks like they're keeping an eye out. You don't know if anyone's noticed you yet because you guys rolled like shit. You also do remember that your chinchilla friend has turned himself into a rhino and is just standing there.
What are we gonna do about him?
Not much we can do. He's there.
The woolly rhino just kind of huffs.
Well, perhaps they could make a distraction for us.
Perhaps.
If anything, I could cause a commotion.
But we should probably do something soon.
I'm going to speak in my very broken Sylvan that I've learned and be like, Nar, you think you could lure the guards away?
As soon as you say that, Nar just kind of kicks at the soil a few times and starts to charge at the giant gate in front.
I said lure them away, not charge it. Okay, there he goes.
It's
Oh,
Nar.
and
I don't know
okay.
what you expected. He's alive.
Well, we're gonna have a distraction very soon, you guys.
Well, that saves us opening the door.
It's about this time that you guys watch as a couple arrows fling down and hit at the ground in front of you. And you look up and you notice that the archers are standing there waiting and ready. Also, Gerald, at this point is probably when you realize that the sword that you were missing is now at your feet, as couldn't do both spells at once.
I will attempt to kick the sword up with my feet and catch it and sort of hold it up
Make a dexterity
towards
check.
the air. Let's try dexterity. What is my dex check? My dex bonus. That's a +3. 17?
17. Right, you're able to catch it.
And I hold it up, still sheathed, obviously, and I will let out a particular whistle that probably would have been a signal. At least it probably would, if this particular tune probably be an older signal. It's a signal letting people know that they were that someone had returned back to the fort. Ready to roll performance for that?
Yeah, roll a performance. And as you do this, you hear the slightest chuckle from your friend Fred. I say friend loosely.
A quick. Wow, that is not bad. 21.
Okay.
Or plus 9 to my performance.
Yeah, no. With that, they definitely look down and they start to holler down. I'm not actually gonna holler because that's not gonna go over well.
Yeah.
But you hear a voice holler down and just go, "The hell are you then?"
Well, what are you then? I'm French.
Why do you think I'm this outrageous accent, you silly king?
What a strange person.
Now go away, or I shall taunt you for a second time.
Don't think he'll be found king. He's already got one, you see.
I fought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father said an ant. God damn it.
This was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen because the giant fucking
Hit my nose.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
At this point, Galen will shout out, "Old employees, we would like to give back a stowaway, if that's okay."
You hear Fred.
Better to be honest.
Gerald will pause and look at him. We're bandits. Since when have we lived in honest? You and I have tried to live in honest day. What part of this do you think requires honesty? That level of honesty.
The part where we don't get killed on sight. Because you know as well as I do that these people can snuff out a lie from a mile away.
In what?
As you're
Then
having
what is the entire point of this?
As you're having this conversation, the guard looks down and sees all of you, sees Frey in chains, and whistles very loudly. Now you've got all of them that are on the gate with their arrows notched and pointing in your general direction.
I need to go.
Good job.
And you hear him call down, "And what exactly are you planning on doing with our captain there?"
Well, depending on how you want to act, I was planning on handing her over. She has 2 boys she needs to get back to.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Are you really pointing all of those arrows at an old woman?
Also,
If
make a
and it's
persuasion
different.
check with disadvantage.
Okay.
With disadvantage?
Yup.
Okay. Now I need you to roll higher than that. But I know you won't because I have disadvantage. But you, if you are the lowest I roll, I love you.
12?
12? They don't.
Yourself again. That works fine. 13. I rolled 13 twice,
Okay. Um.
which is a total of 19.
Okay. Alright. That's better. He seems to
But my-
waver a bit, and then you see him look over his shoulder. He's loosened his, but the others are still trained on you. And he kind of looks down and waves over his shoulder, and looks at you guys and go, "So what's your plan here?"
Simple negotiations.
What did you have in mind?
First is to not be shot. Next is to hand her over. The third is to talk. How that goes, well, we'll get there when we get there.
Wouldn't this be easier if tea together?
You think they would listen over tea? Really? With their arrows?
I'm just trying to get us out of the
No, I'm sure, and I completely understand.
lion's den here, dear.
We did walk into it.
Talk to who and about what?
I forget the name, but the lady.
Gerald gonna size. Benna.
Yeah, that's the one.
And what business do you have with Benna?
Come to offer. Offering terms is a bit of an odd phrase.
Gwen's gonna sort of like nudge Gerald. Isn't that between Benna and us, dear?
Reckon, I think this is very stupid.
You're probably not wrong.
I'm just going to try to make sure I kind of stand out of sight and have my hands on my holsters in case one of them shoot at us.
Daryl will think on it for a minute. Tell her we wish to discuss the future.
He kind of looks back over his shoulder for a second, and then looks back at you and goes, "Don't go anywhere." And he heads off. There's still weapons trained on you. There's still a rhino attacking the front gate.
Nah.
Get the kettle ready, dears.
No. You don't need to attack the gate anymore. I think they might open it soon.
Nar goes back into the little chinchilla form and does his standing on his head and waving his feet in the air thing for a second before running back over to you guys.
Oh, Gerald.
Gerald will take the cuffs off of Frey.
Well, I can't say I was expecting that.
I hope you're
Oh,
smart
this
enough
is-
to know-
Zinzi's will give Gerald the what the fuck look.
Letting you walk in on your own accord looks better than.
As long as you know that if you try to run from this current situation, it ain't gonna end well for you.
True.
Why would she run? She's home.
What? Why did you decide to let her go, especially if this is her home and this is her territory, which means that if she can go in as she's free, then she is more than willing to go get others to, I don't know, kill us?
Yeah, Gerald, I don't think you're really thinking this through.
Oh, come now. Frey would never kill us again.
She tried to kill me once!
I said again. Besides, if she tries to
I
kill
don't understand how you're able to forgive her so easily, Gwen.
I was just going to say, if she tries to kill any of us again, simple.
Yeah, that's a lot coming from you, Gwen. I've seen you giving her tea at night, being buddy-buddy with her.
It's called civility, dear.
Yeah, well, some people don't deserve it.
Hi, thank you. But no,
Yes,
really,
have
you
any
all
of this.
are being extremely naive here. Although I will say, whether you believe me or not, I've come to see your side of things. I don't think you're going to get in the door as easily as you expect, but I will do my best to help.
You're an insight checker.
Okay.
Because I firmly believe she's lying. $17.
She actually seems a little annoyed with herself over the fact that she's being honest about this. You also get there's an anxiety there. She wants to get in there. And hindering you guys is not going to help. You rolled pretty high.
Zinzi's just gonna be silent.
About 20 minutes go by before you start to hear those giant double doors start to shake and creak open. They don't open all the way because they are huge, but you do see two large Panzerbeeren pushing these doors open as a decent-sized group of bandits come pouring out. And these are not just mobpox. These are also hedges and servants and bullpens and jerbeens, all coming out, all armed, but not as aggressive as you would have originally expected for a crowd this size, as they come pouring out in your direction.
Hello, I believe we had requested tea. We've been journeying for quite some time.
Zinzi's will very visibly roll her eyes.
At this part, that giant group is starting to spread out and surround.
Nobody make a move.
You see the individual is up on the parapet not a couple moments ago. A hedge, probably, if you had to guess, like a ranger type style in outfit and in attire, still with the, worn, ragged leathers that you see on most of the bandits. Still has an arrow knocked, but it's not pulled back as he comes up to you and simply goes, "You want to talk? Fine. But you're not bringing the weapons with you."
I think this is a fair compromise.
Agreed.
And I'm staying up.
That's actually not a bad idea, Zinzis.
Perhaps someone should stay with you.
I'll stay.
Sorry, I rolled to see if she would go in or not. She's not going in.
It's fine.
No.
If she has to go in unarmed, she'd rather die.
That is fair.
Totally understandable.
We'll hold on to your weapons for you.
No, I'll hold on to them. I'm gonna be outside anyways, right?
As long as no one makes a silly move, then we should be fine.
Tea for us. Shall we? Oh, Galen, dear,
Yes.
could you let our little chinchilla friend know what's happening?
Again, we'll explain the situation, and at the end, we'll ask, do you want to go in or do you want to stay outside?
Yeah, you said that to Nar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nar gives you the general gist of, new place, I'm going in.
At that point, he'll say, just stay with me and be well behaved. These people are quite dangerous and will attack us if we make a wrong move.
He kind of does the thing, staring around at everybody else.
Just be alert.
Um,
Alright.
Do you guys relinquish your weapons?
Yep.
Gwen is gonna hand Zinzi's the wand of entangle, and she's going to say,
I'm gonna make a list of all the shit y'all give me real quick.
she's gonna whisper in her ear, I know you're not comfortable here, dear, but please.
Don't call me dear again.
She's
Is
going.
all she's gonna say to Gwen. Don't call me dear again.
She is going to look at you with a mom stare, of like,
I will call you whatever the fuck I feel like.
it's
No,
more.
she'll look back at you. She'll look back with the stare of "You're not my mom."
Well, the stare is. It's like. We'll talk about this later, kind of thing. And then she'll sort of like pat your hand one more time and then walk away.
Sorry, she's still mad.
I get it. We haven't had a discussion about it, so.
Is that all of your weapons, Gwen?
Gwen has a quarterstaff that she uses to walk with, but if they require it,
They're gonna insist. If she's not trying to conceal it, they're going to insist that stay behind.
I mean, it's kind of hard to hide a quarterstaff on your person.
Adding quarterstaff.
No. I will give the quarterstaff to them as like
No. Zinzi straight up told them she's taking everyone's weapons. They're not allowed to touch them.
Okay, but Gwen is going to hand it to them as a token of like of trust. It's like hey, look at me doing this thing that you asked.
Zinzi's, just for the hell of it, Zinzi's make a persuasion check.
That's gonna go really well. Holy shit! Dirty 20! Oh my god!
So Gwen, you hand the quarterstaff over to the one hedge that you guys have been talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks it over very closely, looks at you very intently, looks back at Zinzi's very intently. He seems to be studying the both of you. And then he tosses it over to Zinzi's and goes, I get the sentiment. Not necessary.
Oh, thank you, dear. You look like my son.
Okay.
Zinzi's has a look of what the fuck on her face once more.
So does he.
Gerald, are you staying or going in? You're muted.
Muted. Gerald is muted. Gerald will kind of contemplate. He will take off his daggers, kind of cast them out like a separate belt. He'll wrap that belt around his longsword and leave that. That's the actual weapons he has. He will quite reluctantly, for the time being, hand the captain's sword back to Frey.
She takes it from you and gives you a very discerning look as she's trying to study you completely.
And he's kind of this kind of cracks a small smile at her. Do you need this? So like motion to his loot. I never go anywhere without it. If I smack anyone with it, you can throw me out, I swear, but it's not going to do anything.
Make a deception check and a persuasion check, both.
Both?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You've got disadvantage on that persuasion check.
Okay, so have that for the deception. Don't fuck me. You didn't that time. You almost did. You sneaky bitch. Okay, so for deception, the 22.
Okay.
And my lowest roll for the persuasion is 21, because I rolled a 15 and a 17.
Okay.
So I got a 21 for persuasion and 22 for deception.
Okay. Galen, you were about to say something. What was it?
Galen's gonna go over to Red
Mm-hmm.
and give her his staff and a wand.
Mm.
Hang on to these until I get back, please.
Got it.
You have just a basic staff and a wand of the War Mage.
Ooh.
Well, who did Gerald hand his stuff to?
You kind of put it on the ground near where you two are kind of like standing, so like whoever wants to hang on to it can.
Alright, I'm adding daggers and longsword to my list.
Cool.
Starting with
Go,
Gerald.
Eddie.
Gerald, was that all of the weaponry you have?
Yes, 10 technical weaponry.
Which is why I had you roll deception check for that loot and then persuasion check because Frey's seen you use it. She knows what it is.
Yes, that she does.
And as you hand her the sword and you make the comment of not going anywhere without your loot, she gives you a almost nasty stare and then very quietly goes up to you and goes, if you touch it, I will take you down myself. Remember that.
If you touch that thing again, I shall kill you right now.
Do not.
Oh my god, I cannot believe!
I cannot believe.
Do not cross!
Cross.
He's blind!
Oh fuck! I can't believe you done this.
Oh my god, fuck's sake, I can't get away from that.
He just kind of like glances at her and just kind of nods. I understand.
And then she'll turn around and then head off. And as she walks by, what's everyone's passive perceptions?
Shite.
15.
11.
11 also.
Passive
21.
perception?
Uh,
No.
21.
Okay.
Passive perception is 14.
Okay. And Gwen?
15, dear.
15? So anyone who is 15 or higher will hear her as she goes up to one of them and just kind of like gets close into the ear and goes, "Where are they?" And you hear the individual go, with Bennett, they're inside. And she takes off into the fortress.
Gerald smiles a little bit.
Having relinquished your weaponry, you were not asked to relinquish your armor. Any weaponry or any other equipment you've been asked to leave behind. You've been allowed your loot for now.
Oh, for clarity, in case someone interests me later, I will also leave the bag of tricks with Cincy.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I'm like, wait a minute. I also have the bag of tricks. I don't look. If anything, I don't. If there's anything I don't need to be dropping in the zone, I go negotiation with the lion. So
I gotta roll an impulse on that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
At least
Oh,
it wasn't a
do it.
1.
Question: Do you need to be? No, you do not need to be attuned to the bag of tricks to use it.
She just wants to pull a comfort animal out right now.
It's not required. Say, do I have to say? Let me look at the.
Zinzi's is just gonna look at the bag, look at Red, look at the bag. I need something to cuddle right now. Just grab one of the fur balls in there and yeet it at the ground.
Are you doing this before or after everyone goes inside?
After everyone goes inside.
Before?
After.
Oh, after? Okay.
Yeah, when all the guards and shit are gone.
Not all of them go inside. 3 stay out with you.
Alright. I look to them. I need a comfort animal right now. And I'm gonna grab a fuzzball and throw it at the ground.
Now, do you want me to roll the d8, or would you like to roll?
If I get a lion, I am gonna snuggle that bitch.
I have the chart.
I really want Zinzi's to roll the d8, and I also.
I have the chart. I will let you know what it is.
I rolled a 6.
Oh no.
You a giant boar.
I'm cuddling it. I am Timon. This is Pumbaa.
They definitely step back, startled for a second, and start to just string back their bows. But when they see that it's not harming them, they relax a little bit and just keep a wary eye on you.
I'm just like
I just flop onto its back.
So what I really would have found hilarious is if you had rolled a 5, because that's a giant goat. That's just silly.
I would have a scream match with it.
Okay, so for the record, since some of y'all might not know, here is the rust bag of tricks in order. A 1 is a rat. A 2 is an owl. A 3 is a mastiff. 4 is a goat. 5, giant goat. 6, as we just learned, giant boar. 7 is the lion. And 8 is a brown bear.
I could have had Trinket!
I know about that.
That would have caused other issues. Boar is slightly less dangerous. Slightly.
Well, great. It's just a brown bear, not a giant brown bear. The giant goat would have gotten you some weird looks.
Just as a reference, I would have telepathically told the pseudo dragon to stay in my robes and do not move out. To kind of be like, this is for your own protection. Just stay in there.
Okay. Roll deception.
I have
I would say
advantage.
Deception or even sleight of hand, possibly just to see if you can keep your robes in a way. that it doesn't ruin
Uh,
it?
My deception is higher and I have advantage, so
Oh, Corvum. Just
Nope.
Corvums. Natural fucking 20?
yeah, boy, total of 25.
No one knows. No one seems to notice a thing. The only one who knew it existed has run off.
Considering, because I actually have a regular loot that I could take in instead of the ruby one.
So yeah,
No, I succeeded on my roll, so I'll just keep it on.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to bring any equipment. You've managed to get that one in. Barely.
Granted, yeah.
barely. Well, so
Because it just looks like a hat,
Mhm.
and it doesn't do anything other than make me look like a brown owl instead of the pale white owl that I am.
Yeah, they wouldn't
I
not
still-
have asked you to remove a hat.
I still have my cloak of protection as well as the ring I have.
Yes, anything that you're wearing, you were able to keep. So any
Cool.
armor, anything that gives you a boost that's like a ring, a necklace, that you guys were able to keep. It's just like they basically said leave your bags and leave your weapons.
Okay. Corvum's gonna take a look around and basically see what's changed and what stayed the same.
Alright.
Yeah, kind of same for Gerald.
Alright.
He's also keeping an eye out for a very specific person.
What an interesting place.
Yes. As you walk in, Gerald and Galen, you both remember this place as being very survival of the fittest. Old tents, ragtag, outside of the actual fortress itself. This is the inner wall. And in here, I mean, it was more like a refugee camp meets the, a bunch of street thugs. It's gotten built up. There's almost like a marketplace in here. You see they've set up a training grounds with proper taught battle sparring. There is a wagon road that leads north of the courtyard to a wooden palisade with double doors. And instead of tents, they've taken the time to build homes. You also notice that while, yes, there are those wearing the ragtag bandit armor in here, there's also a lot of families. There's a lot of just children and husbands and wives and ordinary people who are likely refugees that have found residence and safety here, which isn't quite what you were expecting.
Galen's gonna take a look around and just whisper to Gerald. It's less instantly hostile here than I remember.
More organized, at least. A lot of families.
Maybe this won't be as swords at throats as I thought it would. But then again,
I have a feeling some things don't change. Just the methodology. People seem to be better fed than I remember. We were half starved when I left. If you didn't steal, if you weren't in your circle, or if you didn't steal your food, you didn't eat some days.
has I can make a perception check, but does Galen see any like staring faces that kind of had a look of, wait, I recognize him?
Make a perception roll.
Do I need to for Gerald? Because he's technically both in disguise and wearing a big hat. He's technically hiding in plain sight.
I mean,
Here.
you can make a perception check just to see if there's anyone you recognize or if anyone's giving you funny looks.
Yeah.
That's an 18 for perception.
Gwendolyn, if you want to, too, just because I know you have a history with bandits as well, and I think you came in.
Of course you wasted on that, you fucking son of a bitch. I rolled a natural 20 at 26.
Okay.
What was the skill? Sorry.
Perception.
Just to see if you recognize anybody you don't know. Or that you would know. Just because of your own backstory.
22.
What do you say?
22.
22? Okay. Galen?
18.
18? Okay.
Mine was a 26 total.
Alright. A couple things. Say. And Gwen, you said 22?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Galen, you do see a couple faces that look like they've been there for a while. Don't seem to be paying you any mind. There is a particular deep black coated, heavily scarred Vulpin who seems to be watching you as you pass, almost like she might recognize you, and you've recognized her, though it's been a few years. She was one of the avid followers of the original leader. And she's just
Okay.
standing in the background, leaning against a post, watching you all walk by. Gerald, you can see it too, obviously. And Gwen, you also see her, and she's familiar.
I'm gonna guess that that's a not fun familiar.
That's not a fun familiar. She's much older than when you remember her, because it's been quite a long time. And she's got a few new scars, but she's familiar. Gerald, you also notice this Vulpin. And standing a little bit behind her with a interesting smirk is a very familiar individual who takes notice of you and then smiles and ducks around a corner out of sight. That's what your natural 20 gets you.
Gerald kind of like, we're all looking in that general direction, and then Gerald notices it, and he just lets out he tries to keep it quiet, but definitely Gwen and Galen can hear. Fuck. He's here. Oh, this just got so much harder.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Dear Charles. Did you get the kettle started? I'm very thirsty.
You're talking to the people who are walking you.
Yeah, the escorts.
The escorts. The large number of escorts. Like I said, there's 2 Panzergewehr in here, which you know is very rare because you've only ever met one in your life.
He fell in the hole.
He fell in a hole. He lit himself on fire.
I am partially responsible.
All good times. They don't seem to. As you say that, most of them don't respond to you. The one who you had been talking to before just kind of glances over his shoulder at you and says, "You want to meet with Benna? Fine. There's going to be a wait first." And keeps leading you off.
All right, dear. I take my tea with honey.
I will note that when we entered, Gerald's cloak sort of almost reflexively went to a much darker hue. Very not quite black, but sort of like a very dark green, like the color he would have effectively used when hiding.
Okay.
'Cause that's what he was trying to do, and Things
you
back.
you all are led to what's basically a makeshift jail. And he stands out and goes, "Got nowhere else to put you for now." In. And you guys are led inside this. You're not. None of the rest of your equipment is removed from you, but you're all escorted inside. There is one who stays to watch the door, and as you step inside, you are not alone. There is a strig sitting off in the corner of the makeshift cell, just watching you all enter. Showery, would you like to describe your character?
Sure. Let me bring up my description because it's been a couple weeks. Okay. So you see, about a just under 5 foot, mottled gray strig with brown feathers up above. She's got leather armor and a blue robe that goes over it. She's got a crest of the wind on her neck, and she is very scared at the moment because she's woken up in a jail and now strangers are entering her cell.
And Showery, you've been here for a couple of days.
Oh,
You've been,
oh, okay.
Yeah, you've been fed, you've been clothed, you've had discussions with a couple people who just basically have been trying to figure out how much they could sell you back to your temple for. Like, this is 100% like, oh look, hostage. So it's not like you've been kept necessarily uncomfortable, but it also hasn't
Right.
been pleasant.
Okay, good to know.
Being hostage is rarely pleasant. Probably
Yeah.
better off than some, but you know.
Would I still have some of my things, or did everything get taken?
Same as these guys, it's just really
Okay.
weapons that have been confiscated, and you know where
Okay.
your stuff is. Your stuff is in a chest underneath the one guard's feet as he's using it to prop his feet up as he's leaning back in his chair trying not to fall asleep. It's the same position he takes up every goddamn day.
All right, good to know.
This is interesting.
Hello? I wasn't expecting roommates?
Temporary.
Oh, dear.
Daryl will kind of lift up his hat a little bit once he sees her and says, "You can see that he is also a strig, but his coloring
Hello.
is weird compared to his face. He has this face
Okay.
of a barred owl, and but his coloring is off. His is kind of dark and brown, but it doesn't quite. Now that you can see it, like it doesn't quite meld. And that hat
Okay.
looks very fancy for a ragamuffin being thrown in a cell. So he's kind of like, but he kind of just tips it up to you. Well,
Hello?
if birdfolk in this place weren't out of sight enough,
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen another strig outside of my village. Then again, I haven't been outside of my village for a very, very long time.
What are you doing here? By the way, Gwendolyn Briarthorn, pleasure to meet you.
Hello, Gwendolyn. I'm Showery.
This image that you see that Brian is using as his backdrop is what you see.
yeah,
I kind of gathered that as soon as he
It's a-
swapped to
it's a hairdresser.
it.
Give or take.
It's a very like sweet old aunt version of a hedgehog.
Amazing.
And Galen, like you see Galen, jet black raven Corvum, standing at. Oh, 5'11", so quite tall,
Oh my.
with purple eyes.
Gerald is about 5'8". He's not tall,
Oh my.
not short. He's just kind of like somewhere in the middle. He's wearing a very fanciful cloak that, well, at least he like kind of lifts it as he kind of just his very bardy bows. He has a strange red-colored lute on his back. The underside of his cloak looks like it's like stars and very like fanciful.
Okay.
Although as he kind of sits in a jail cell, he'll just kind of chuckle and sort of flick his hand, and the outside of the cloak changes to look like black and white stripes.
Ooh.
like he's like it's a prisoner. he's just kind of like, well, fitting the setting, as it were.
A lovely sense of humor.
I had to. That's how I've gotten this far.
You see Galen in the purple, blue, and gold robes. And he kind of looks at you, bows his head, and just says, "I'm Galen," and turns to look outside the cell, just waiting patiently.
Well, okay.
He's a bit nervous being here. Well, again, granted, I think we all are a bit. We're here for reasons.
All of our hands, dear.
This one doesn't seem too dangerous, Gwen.
Yes, but there are other ears, and she gestures over towards the person who's guarding the cell.
Sitting there just eating an apple. This is a gerbine, but like a chipmunk-esque gerbine, who's just sitting there. One cheek is packed, eating an apple, and just kind of looks over at you guys and goes, "What?"
Is it Chip or is it Dale? I gotta know.
He's too dumb to be either. Like he's not paying attention, and he hears.
Okay, so he's Theodore.
Oh, dear. I was told there would be tea. Could you collect that?
There's no tea.
I was told there would be tea.
Yeah, they lie. They lie a lot.
Galen will turn around to Gwen, and you see his face. It's not nervousness. It's not like timid. It's just straight determination, as opposed to gay determination.
Yes.
But just
For gay determination, turn towards Gerald.
he'll just turn to Gwen. Gwen, these are bandits. We may be honest folk, but they aren't. There are bigger things to be mindful about than tea. And he turns and stares right out the cage.
Why do I get the feeling?
With a mouth full. Hey. It's rude.
There may not be any tea, but I haven't had water since last night. Can I have some of that, please?
Oh, yeah. My bad. And he hands a water skin through the bars.
If
Thank you. I'd like take a nice big heavy swig and then pass it around to my new roommates.
Why do I get the feeling Gwen would be so fucking disappointed to play Portal when there's like, there will be cake.
I was told there would be cake.
Oh dear.
All I received was turrets.
What is this laser?
Why are there so many lasers? Why does the laser sound cute?
Here, go, Death. Cake, please.
Is anybody there?
Where'd you go? Sorry.
Um,
I think she's mainly just trying to keep a mind off things.
Gwen is going to pour a cup of water if Shari is willing to share.
I do pass it around.
Is going to is going to just drop some tea leaves in the tepid water.
Well, technically, it's prestidigitation. You can make it hot.
I really thought you were gonna say cast tea time. I'm like, desperate for tea.
That is coming.
I'm not going to spend it here in a jail cell.
Gwen doesn't have prestidigitation, but she will look to Galen and Gerald and be like, I need you to make this water hot.
That is an excellent question. Did I take prestidigitation? I did. I can't.
Galen, like not even looking at Gwen, just snaps his fingers, and the water is hot and steamy.
Oh, bless you, dear. I know you're uncomfortable, but this is much appreciated. And she's going to cast tea time.
This isn't uncomfortability.
That is my favorite homebrew spell that I've ever found for this fucking campaign. Because it's so perfect. It's just like, I want tea, you don't have tea? I will make my own goddamn tea.
And I will receive a bonus from drinking my tea.
Exactly.
Right to have a tea, Galen.
So Gwen is going to wait for it to steep, and then she's going to take like just kind of like a few sips, and then she's going to pass it to Galen. Trust me, dear. Will help calm the nerves a little bit.
He'll take it politely, take a sip.
But cool.
It is not deviating from his.
Yeah.
Like he is just.
So the tea has like a nice licorice mint pepper taste almost. And you notice that your eyes focus and your brain sort of like can think a little more clearly, and you feel just a little bit more prepared as you have wisdom. You have advantage on wisdom perception, intelligence investigation checks, and advantage on initiative rolls.
Let me get something to write on so I can.
Oh no, that's okay. I'll send you a picture.
It's a hell of a spell. Is that a cantrip?
It's first level.
Nice.
I was gonna say, for only first level, that ain't bad.
I like
Yeah.
homebrew shit, and I find some cool ones. What can I say?
Yeah. I'm sending it to you directly.
Okay.
Oh, that hits the spot. And she's going to turn to the guard and be like, "Thank you, dear. We'll tell Benna that he's hospitable."
Half mouth, half full of apple again. He goes, "What?"
Some things never do change.
While
Jesus.
this conversation is happening, well, I'll wait until Zinzi's comes back.
Okay, I was just going to say, he does not remind me of my son.
Red, was there anything you wanted to be doing while outside the walls?
She's probably like sitting on the floor, drinking her flask, watching Zinzi's like a hawk.
Zinzi's is just laying on top of a board, face first.
Surrounded with just weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
His weapons all over the place.
No. It's like a fucking summoning circle. She's got all the daggers pointed inward in the circle, along with the longsword, the wands, all of it. The boar is just kind of just sitting in the middle, just chewing on some fucking grass, and she's lying face first on its back, screaming.
The guards are looking more and more concerned.
They're not quite sure if they're concerned. They're not quite sure if they're concerned because of the giant boar. More concerned for you because you seem to be having a rough time. It's just
She
like
left her hometown just to get some extra support, and she got tainted by politics. She's having a crisis.
Have a cry.
Not
sis.
always how it is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Charles just trying to not think about back. Oh God, I'm back here. Oh God, he's not coming here. He's gonna go there, and then I have to deal with him there. Deal with him here. I can tell him to fuck off. I didn't deal with him there. I can't tell him to fuck off in the middle of a negotiation. Gerald's doing what Gerald does. He's being charming. He's being funny to distract himself from the fact that he is so fucked.
Red is drinking.
Um,
And like at one point she goes,
Nar is technically in the cell with us, right?
Oh God! You have a toddler with y'all.
Actually,
What?
those of you who are in the cell, make a perception check.
ha!
Okay.
Wait, looking it up again.
But I get the feeling he's small enough to slip through the bars.
22.
Shut, right?
Okay.
Yes.
That is
Yes. Plus 6. 22.
That is a 12, which makes sense because fucking he's
The door.
laser focused right now.
Gwen?
Oh, 19. 19. Oh,
21.
Okay. Everyone but Galen notices, Sherry, you saw them all come in. And as you're chatting and looking around, there's one less. He rolled a natural 19 on his stealth check, and he's a druid. There's one less.
Didn't you have another one when you came in here? Did they slip through the bars?
Gwen's gonna close her eyes and sip her tea. She thought, not now, dear. I need to enjoy this.
Gwen's tea right now. Gwen's tea.
Gwen's tea is the new baby in the group.
Galen is going to take out his pipe and is just still laser focus. Is this actual? Yes, it is, but fuck you.
It counts.
Yes.
Just trying to get.
Galen doesn't give a fuck that the 5-year-old is gone.
It's like, no.
Actually, Galen, make a secondary perception check.
Oh, that's 19.
That's the wrong sheet. I have too many sheets today to worry about.
Too many sheets.
Just hold on to that number.
Too many cooks.
Oh, Bryce, you're a problematic child. There you are. My internet's being blunt, so you can hold it for a second. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I feel like we're
Sorry, I got distracted by Sarah's determination faith.
Shoutery is just watching you all intently,
Okay.
trying to size you up.
Shower, you notice the smoke coming out of the pipe. It's taken the forms of dragons, minotaurs, unicorns.
Very neat.
Galen,
Gerald?
you don't notice anything strange.
With a 19? Alright. Cool. Okay.
Gerald is kind of leaning against the wall, keeping his hat down, and he's whistling. And the tune that he's whistling, I can't play because of copyright. But it'd be basically the equivalent of All Around the Watchtower. But it's sort of a whistle tune that the coalition would have sung by the fireplace. It's something that he and his crew would whistle, and he'd play and whistle along as they sung it by the fireplace after a job.
Okay. Alright. As you guys are sitting there and as you're whistling, you hear a voice outside of the cell. Which really is more like it's an outdoor, it's not built into the fortress. It is made out of very strong, sturdy wood. It's basically like a all-around side cage thing. And as Galen's looking out the front, closer to the back, you all hear a voice go, "Well, I can't say I was expecting this. What exactly are you doing here?"
Gerald recognized this voice.
Gerald recognizes this voice. So does Galen.
Gerald tenses up so hard. He's not quite sure if it's fear, rage, concern. Hard to tell. It's keeping his face hidden.
So, I'm guessing he sees this person because he's looking out towards, like, through the bars, out towards the basically the
So
thoroughfare.
you were looking in one direction, and he snuck around the side in the back. So if you turn, you'll end up seeing him. That's why he was able to get past you, because his stealth was a 20.
Fuck, I was one off.
You went off.
Galen will kind of go, "You're still alive."
What you all see now that he's drawn attention to himself is an older, a little bit older than Gwendolyn, kind of older hedge, dressed at first glance rather nicely. But if you look closer, you'll notice that, the edges of his sleeves are very frayed. And he's obviously put a lot of effort into stitching and restitching and fixing. And he puts a lot of effort into making sure his shoes are polished and properly prepared, because they've been resoled a few times. And he has a smile on his face that never quite reaches his eyes.
Gerald let out a sigh. Relaxes his shoulders, and he takes off his hat. And the Galen and Gwendolyn have seen this trend with this effect before, where as the hat passes down his face, this is more for Shaori, you watch as those brownish dark feathers just go to a pure snowy white.
Oh.
And his eyes go from kind of a dullish brown to a piercing yellow. And he kind of pulled the hat off to the side and turn and look at him. "Oh, Father."
Better already. So decided to limp home, I see.
I have my reasons.
Obviously, or else you wouldn't be here. Unless you decided to waste all of our time. Why are you here?
What part of this makes you think I'm going to tell you, old man?
Just real quick.
Gwendolyn, allow me.
Gwen, go ahead. Continue.
Sorry. He's gonna make, since he seems to have forgotten his manners,
Yes, that's just what I was going to say.
allow me to introduce the man who raised me. This is the man I've referred to as many colorful names, but he primarily goes by the name Barnabas.
Well,
Barnabas.
Make a history check.
Gwen, or actually either of you, I guess. More likely Gwen.
Gwendolyn needs to make a history check specifically.
15. It's a
15?
15.
He's older.
Does she get advantage because Gerald told her a little bit? No.
He's older,
Okay.
but he's familiar.
How familiar?
Pretty fucking
Good.
familiar.
Bad familiar?
Yep.
Well,
He was there.
I can say that Gerald, you certainly didn't us from this Barnabas.
I had to learn them on my own. I learned a good number of things from this old man, though. None of which I'm particularly proud of.
Too bad you didn't take much to heart.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I still have one of those.
Is there a point of you being here, Barnabas?
Yes, unless you're bringing us tea, I see why you're here.
No, I'm merely here to find out what the fuck you all are here for.
Well, that's not your business, dear. And it seems she'll like do the little quotations with her tiny little hands. Son, would rather you not be here as well, dear. So if you wouldn't mind.
Well, that's unfortunate, but not something that concerns me.
That's the point I'm trying to make, dear.
I think you should take the hint, Barnabas, that you need to fuck off.
Oh, fine. No problem with me. I've got my
At this
own
point-
matters to attend to.
I'm gonna say at this point, Gerald and Gwen, this is that's the first time you've ever heard Galen swear. You could probably. He's not liking being here.
I must
Yeah,
say,
Gwen-
though, much as
Gwen
I
would
hate-
normally.
As much as
Oh,
I-
sorry. Go ahead. You go first.
I must say, though, as entertained as I am at the return of the prodigal son, the sneaky little runaway is back too. Wasn't expecting that.
I'm sorry, dear, but I do believe we told you to fuck off.
See, I do rub off on the both of you.
Well, you know, I don't usually use such foul language, but when a time calls for it.
No matter. I have my own ways of learning what I need to. I actually
Gerald kind of,
one those now.
hearing that, Gerald steps closer to him, and kind of in between him, and particularly between him and Gwendolyn. Just staring him right in the eyes.
Don't
When
worry.
Gerald does that, can Showery in the corner very carefully cast thaumaturgy to lower the father's voice? I forgot his name. But
Barnabas.
Barnabas.
Barnabas, yes. Just lower his voice as low as possible. So that if he tries to speak against Gerald, it's comes out much, much, much weaker than intended.
Yeah, sure, why not? For flavor's sake, yeah, let's do that shit.
I do that. Thaumaturgy that bitch.
Gerald, you're staring him down. His smile hasn't wavered. He still has that angry look in his eyes, but he maintains that smile. As he goes, Oh, don't worry. I have my own sources. I'll go tend to them now. We'll talk later. No worries.
Oh, we have a long conversation, Father.
That comes out as a bear whisper,
Yeah,
by the way.
He's very quiet. He's so
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Gerald,
what?
He's very quiet.
Speak up, dear.
Gerald kind of like smirks a little bit. You should go have some tea, Father. You seem to have a sore throat.
I'll see you around.
You can count on that.
And he
Having a
walks
deja
away.
vu moment right now. I swear I've heard Gerald say that before.
Is he walking towards an open door?
No, you guys are basically in on a corner of a square. He's just walking away from
Out of sight?
into the
Oh, okay.
into the crowds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gerald lets out like huge, like just a great big sigh. He's like kind of like, almost like, you look for a second like he's about to collapse before he kind of like catches himself and.
I think I'll walk up to Gerald. Are you all right? He was your father?
It's complicated.
I
He raised
can
me.
see that.
Well, as much as they don't want me to tell you all of our intentions, as well as that one out there. This is where I grew up.
Oh,
I left several years ago, and he's the man who raised me.
I can see why you'd want to leave. This place is horrible.
It was worse.
Sorry.
DM, when was the management change from the Panther Coalition again? 5 years ago?
2.
2 years ago. Again, we'll pipe up. 2 years of new management. Previous manager was a lot worse.
We
Hard
didn't used to
imagine,
take
but-
We didn't used to keep hostages.
I just
Something lovely.
for what I was expecting, this is different somehow. Was there a man in charge before?
Yes.
If you can call him that.
Wendell would just like dust her hand slightly and be like,
Yes, Gwen, I understand your point. And
"Oh,
he was more. His incompetence surpassed his gender. He managed to make a muck of it worse than anyone could have possibly.
oh dear, that's
This is 2 years under better, from what Galen and I have discussed.
Oh my.
He
It's hard
did-
to imagine what it was like before.
There's food now. Before it was a ragtag band of people committing crime to survive. Some to gain profit, some of it just to live. But Barnabas, well, there was good parts and there were good people. If you want to know what the darkest part of this place was, and probably still is, that is my father.
Lovely. Just makes me want to get out of here even more.
What I will say is that he does have a familiarity that rubs me the wrong way.
He does that.
I am glad to see that things have improved here, if that is truly what you're saying.
Improved is a matter of opinion.
Respect it, really. If
Well,
it was like this when I was here before, I might not have left.
Oh, well, then we wouldn't have met. And that would be
And a terrible shame that would be.
Yes, of course, dear. I've grown quite fond of you two. And, you know, wherever that little one is.
Galen is going to cast Sending to red.
To red? Okay.
Yep,
What's the range on it?
unlimited.
Oh, sending that message. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, not message sending.
Okay.
It's a universal telephone.
Handy that.
Hello.
25 words or
Then we're going. We are fine.
Oh God.
We are held in a cell, waiting to be received by Benno.
10 words left.
Lindsay's.
How are things
Cell.
at your end?
4 words.
Things are fine. Things are fine. Zinzi's is hugging a boar. I ran out of booze.
If he relays that, he's like, she got in my bag.
At which point, Galen's just going to be like, "Oh, okay. Well, Cindy's managed to summon a giant boar, possibly as a comfort animal, and Red has run out of booze.
She's gonna be stuck with that boar until sunrise. I hope she remembers that.
Wait, you
Going
have
through
outside?
my
Striggy just gets very like wide-eyed and excited. You have friends outside? Are you leaving? Can you take me with you? I don't like this place.
Here, can I put his hand up? I will put that I will try and work that into the plan. We have more official business, but I'll see what I can do. I
Okay.
can be quite persuasive when I need to
Oh,
be.
come now, Gerald. You're very
Oh, me too. Me too.
sorry. Would you like some tea? Yeah.
Yeah. I need to calm down a little bit.
Yep.
I
Okay.
gotta-
Okay. Now that I've had my tea, I can share with the rest of you. But let me get something more purple, if you will. And she's going to sprinkle some more flowers, ask water from the guard, and then gesture in Galen's general direction. Ooh, you're a godsend, dear.
Which one?
Anything-
I wouldn't be surprised if you were from mine, honestly.
I'm not. At which point, Galen is going to walk over to Shaori. I have something that might cheer you up, and take your mind of things. And he'll like open his robe slightly, and in his robe is a baby pseudo dragon.
It sounds like you're about to flash her.
Yeah, right. I'm not into. Oh, is it? Can I pet it?
Just yeah.
Scritch.
The pseudo dragon gives a little.
Oh, thank you. I feel better. He's so cute. They are so cute.
Their name is Sunkissed.
Just so pretty. Okay, yep. That's what I'm thinking about now.
Cute baby pseudo dragon. Cute baby pseudo dragon. Cute baby pseudo dragon.
Yep.
Which point again is going to go to the guard. How much longer do we have to wait?
What?
How much longer do we have to wait for Benna?
I mean, I don't know.
Are there
Probably not long.
windows in
Four
the
of
cell?
you is fine.
That at this point, this is purely just for flavor, but with predidigitation, like just didn't even mean to cast it, just does it. Galen's eyes are fucking sparkling with lightning energy out of pure rage. Just
Make an intimidation check.
I have advantage.
So while he's rolling that, that what that you did when the guard reacted, I'm imagining that his jaw was just like open. I wanted to cast thaumaturgy to just slam it shut. Just like what? And he's like, oh,
If you can slam open and close doors.
and windows. I would say the mouth is the window into the body.
That's a 21 for intimidation.
Damn.
He definitely. I mean,
Can you go and check?
Oh, wait, look. And he points over, and you do see there is a small patrol that has started heading in your direction.
At which point the lightning will stop and return. Thank you.
Yeah. All good, dude. We're cool.
We're cool, right? Gerald is. Actually, out of curiosity, what's Gerald's and Gwen's reaction to this mood of Galen that they haven't seen? Just out of pure
Gerald's
curiosity.
not surprised. It's just he looks more like he has more of a smirk on his face. It's just like there's no way you and I went through this bullshit and you were just as calm, timid. Like, no, there was a ball of rage inside of you, just like me. You're getting it out. He has a very like it starts as a smirk, but it's kind of like a smile. Like this is about as healthy as you can get with this. We did not have good times going. We did not have good days here. You get that out however you need.
I can imagine Gerald just like, okay, like just let him be, just let him feel the emotions, do not get in the way.
Yeah, no more taking those away.
Gwen is titillated.
So what was that? Gwen is
Titillated. She has an exuberance that just sort of like bustles through every single quill in her body.
Who is this man?
Tingling. Tingling. Tingling.
Alright, so.
Well,
Approaching is 4 different members of the coalition, as well as the hedge ranger type that you guys saw earlier leading the pack. And he goes over, motions for the individual who had been the chipmunk to open the gate. He goes, alright, she's ready for you. And motions for you to exit the cell.
I exit with them as if I'm part of their party.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, dear. You're too
oh,
kind.
I was gonna say again. We'll look to Shouty and just go. Like nudge her to come with.
Yeah, the chipmunk
Yep.
is just like,
No, let it go. It's fine.
he definitely
Gerald,
has to
well-
say something. I don't care enough.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
I was gonna cast a spell if I needed to, but okay.
Gerald will put his hat back on, but he isn't using the disguise self. He's staying as him.
To be fair, if the chipmunk was going to question, Galen was just going to look at him like with a death glare to the boy. Was like, okay, fine.
Don't you fucking dare.
Don't you do it.
Right. So
But,
you are
yeah.
all escorted to the fortress itself, the interior part of this keep.
Interior crocodile alligator.
You see,
I'm sorry. I just like my brain is like.
Interior crocodile
Crocodile
alligator. I drive a
alligator.
Chevrolet movie theater.
It just shoved itself through my brain.
you cross through the courtyard, which has a large number of humble folk wandering around, some in armor, some without. There are 2 buildings inside the walls, as well as narrow road leading up to the meeting hall. You can see off to the left, one of the largest buildings there is a wooden barracks that has been built. And in front of that are rows of target dummies that there are a number that are training at this post as well. You see on the right hand side there is another building that is slightly smaller, more barn-like, and you can see some supply wagons being taken in and out. Again, I appreciate your patience as I only did so much to prepare because I didn't know what your plans were to do this. I was like, they're either gonna break down the doors or they're gonna I don't know.
Wait, we were supposed to have a plan?
You only had like 4 weeks to plan for a plan.
What are those?
From us, I never expect a plan. I just expect it to go off the rails.
Remember,
That's
there
the
are only 4 things you need to remember. Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
Yeah, we don't plan. That's fine.
We just went through the steps a lot faster than you were anticipating.
If there was anyone who was meant to be Captain Cold,
It is
he
good.
does an amazing job.
Yes, he did a fantastic job, Mike. And of course, they made his like best friend in the fucking world in literally every fucking movie he is in and TV show to make him Mick. It's also the best casting I've ever seen.
Amazing. It was perfect casting. Alright. There are spiral staircases that intersect at corners of the walls that access the upper levels. And then as you get closer, you see there are 2 large levers inside the gate. And as you start to approach, you watch a taller figure pull down the giant levers, one on each side, and a giant portcullis starts to lower, and you are all welcomed onto the inner part of the keep.
This has certainly found some improvement. This thing was barely held together with sticks and planks, let alone proper stone. It's an actual
You are familiar with the inner keep, as that was where you spent most of your time, just due to the nature of the position you had before. And they didn't really invite you outside much. It's like kind of keeping you in your little corner and just kind of like, it's fine, everything's fine, you do your job, and you'll be safe. Yeah, so you just kind of stayed in the inner keep, so you know these halls pretty well. The rough road to the north of the courtyard climbs up steep crags until it curves, revealing a 40-foot tall barricade of logs lashed together, and a large set of double doors. The portcullis is lowered, and you guys are able to enter. You are led past many doors, most closed. You can hear the sound of many individuals traveling through these halls. Not just... if you listen closely, as you pass one of the doors, you can tell it's probably an infirmary of some sort. You can hear groans and grunts of pain and those trying to comfort those who are injured in some way. You continue down, and you can hear more soldier-like voices talking to each other. and you are brought into a meeting hall. There are 3 long tables crammed into this meeting area. 2 of them along the sides, a jumble of chairs packed together at each one, and the remains of meals linger at each seat. So you guys actually see there is food that has been put out. It's mostly, so when you had dinner with Speaker Conrad, it was very simple, inelegant, but at the same time as you ate it, it just had that sense of money, I think is the best way to put it. This is basic. This is hearty food. This is gonna get you through the day. It's good protein. It's got the carbs that you're gonna need. It's hearty food.
It be simple meat and potatoes.
Exactly. There's no frills. There's no false expectation here. And as you look around this room, there's 2 things that you notice offhand. First is at one side of the table, cleaned up, back in armor, with her sword back at her hip, stands Frey, watching you enter. She seems pretty stoic, back to normal. She's kind of calmed herself down a bit. Also, there seems to be a rat on her shoulder, but it's got an interesting coloring to it. It's almost like orange and bluish. It's very strange. It's kind of prehistoric.
Because he made friends with Frey. We almost forgot about that. There's a furry child on her shoulder.
So good to see you, dear. Gwen will gesture at Frey and make note of the creature on the shoulder and just nod. I'm glad we were able to get you here safely.
Frey nods back and gestures over towards one of the windows. Standing at this window, backs turned to you, is a large, bulky servant. Dented but formidable armor. Sword at her side. Hands clasped behind her. A bandage that looks like it's old that is wrapped along her head. Only one ear, and slowly she turns, revealing that she's not only missing that ear, but she's also missing that eye. This is Benna. In her poise, in her positioning, you can immediately tell you are now in front of the leader of the Bandit Coalition. And she just stares at all of you very intently.
I would like to hide behind the Corvum.
Gwen is gonna bow.
You can certainly try. Okay.
Sorry, Gwen is gonna. She'll like sort of curtsy a little bit. Be like, we've heard much about you, and I just want to say, despite all of our pasts, we come to you with a hope for the future.
I've heard from the people at the gate and from Frey itself that you come here with some sort of proposition. Fine, I'll listen. I make no promises. Sit.
Joe will remove his hat, and he kind of moves past Frey, pausing ever so briefly, kind of glancing over to her. Are the boys all right?
By the way, this is Benna.
Can you?
I think I can.
Sorry.
I think I can.
Can you? Thank you.
I'm gonna just take a picture and send it to the group.
Works.
I'll work on making it so that people at home can see what she looks like too. Alright. She's an intimidating motherfucker, I will tell you that now.
Yeah, it's certainly a look.
Yep. Welp.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit!
Gerald.
That's like Beastars gone wrong.
God
Enter-
damn, that's a big bitch.
That's all this game is. Beastars
Beastars.
meets Redwall. It's fine. Yeah, so you
All we
make
need
that
is an anxiety-induced wolf and a hypersexual rabbit, and we're set.
Just wait, give me time.
The whole show is a fucking weird. So,
Gerald,
Like-
what was it that you said to Frey?
he's gonna he speak somewhat quietly. It's very simple, something that he can just nod or shake her head at. Like, are the boys okay?
She just subtly nods.
He'll nod and he'll take off his hat, and he will, while looking at Frey, take off the lute and set it against the wall, away from him, where she can see it and where he can't immediately reach to it. He's not that dumb. It's like she is literally within. I am unarmed. She's there with the sword I had enchanted for her. Yeah, no, she can cut my head off. He'll behave. He'll keep the head off. He'll like put it on the back of the chair and he'll sit down on the table.
Benna takes her own seat at the head of the table, Frey standing in a flanking position behind her, hand just gently resting on the hilt of the sword. And Benna looks to you all and goes, "So, why are we here?"
Well, there will kind of reach to his bag of holding and take out the official papers. If you want the official account, there it is. Though I wished it was more than what's been written down. Paperwork and all its double talk. I want to talk about the future of the Humblewood.
So sorry. Just real quick. Would introductions not be appropriate?
You work for the council. I represent the coalition. What else is needed?
Well, to clarify, we're here on behalf of the council, but more so on behalf of the realm, the people in the realm, and I'm sure you can agree that there is a difference.
Of course there's a difference. People of the realm actually give a damn.
Precisely. I'm Gwendolyn Briarthorn, and despite my dealings with you in the past, not you particularly, the Bandit Coalition, have come here in good faith so that we can hopefully, as I said earlier, move forward together.
To what end? What exactly is it that you're expecting to happen at this meeting?
Happen? Nothing. To consider? Possibly something. To try and consult for peace when things are the way they are is a bit less far stretch. But putting proper resources in place to handle the bigger issue, that's something I'm more interested in.
You expect peace. You've
I
been
ex-
here asking for peace on behalf of the
again, the council has asked us to speak with you, but we do not speak on their behalf, but rather for the people involved on both sides of this conflict.
You want the council's words and the council's perspective, it's there in those papers. What they offer, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what they want.
Last
I
heard,
want-
they want my head in a spike.
Some want you in a more useful position. Some of them want to understand you. Some of them, yes, want your head because they're old and they have no new ideas.
I'm sure you can agree that things here have changed quite a lot from what I've been told. Sometimes progress can be positive.
I do what I can to watch over my people here, yes.
You've done more than the old man did in 2 years.
That's not that hard, Gerald.
He was a prick. I enjoyed cutting him down. More than
It's a good
I
thing
should
you-
have, I know.
He deserved it more than I think you realize. So does the other old man, but that's a separate issue.
There are many old men here. I've done what I can to appease. Still.
The real problem here in the wood is the fires. That's the bigger problem. The reason so many are here, the reason so many people have been so ripe for the attacks, so many towns ready to be taken, so many hostages readily available, is because the fires have been spreading even more since the fighting
Fires that
continued.
the council does nothing about. I'm aware. They barely have. I'm aware of how useless the council has been in terms of helping people in need after any of these towns have burned to the ground. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, we've heard the story, and I can sympathize. I was convinced that the fires were the reason that I was here so many years ago. But that was a lie. Do you think the council will be better able to do as they say and help those that they can if half of their fighting people who could be utilized to fight off the creatures of the flame weren't dead? Or your people able to do the same if they weren't dead?
My people have done everything they can.
And yet it hasn't mattered too much to the fires, has it? There are still hundreds of refugees pouring into that city. I've been in that tree from top to bottom. And I see them, I've found sympathizers to you, who won't outright join you, but understand why you, in their own ways, why you do what you do. Because they're there at the roots of that tree, scraping by to survive. And all this fighting is only making that number grow.
What
Only
exactly
leading
are
to-
you suggesting then?
I'm suggesting you apply a temporary ceasefire in technical terms. Combine assets in certain regards and focus on the flames. Once half of our wood isn't burning to the ground and all of our people dying or displaced, there will be time to discuss whatever systematic issues you wish to address or rewrite. But none of this, like motion to the keep and to everything, none of this will mean a damn thing if it's on fire.
It's interesting that you keep using the phrase "our people."
My name is Gerald Nightfeather, and I grew up here. I was born, or hatched, here. I left because of him and what he was doing.
That's
What he did to me.
something
Sorry, was that?
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
The man who raised me is Barnabas.
Little
If you
prick.
think you... Prick is one word for it. If you understood what he did to me, he was things that I did for him when I was no taller than any child running around here. I was here doing the dirty work of the old crews. I was a thief. I made illusions. They called me a siren of the North Roads. All sorts of fancy little titles. But the things we did, they're starting to come back in my dreams. And I want to wipe that away. Just because I left doesn't mean I stopped thinking of these people as my family. There were good, honest people here.
So you think you can redeem yourself by joining those who abandon anything that doesn't have wings to the flames? That's what you're saying.
They abandoned me too. At least that's what I was told to believe. There's a lot of things we think we know.
I know what I saw.
And I know what I've seen.
The question is, Brenda, for the good of the whole, fuck council, fuck politics, for the sake of humble lives, would you at least consider the temporary ceasefire and muster some civility?
I don't want to redeem myself. I want to save the people I can. From the innocent children, he kind of glances to the side, to the shopkeepers, even to you. I want there to be a Humblewood left worth fighting for.
I've done everything I can to fight for the Humblewood. I've done what I can to get the attention of those fuckers in the trees. For them to have some inkling of understanding of what the people on the ground have dealt with. And instead, they put bounties on my head to get me to stop telling anyone what I know. You think that you know a way to make that stop?
I think that we can make something happen. Speaking of redemption, I want you to know that it took everything in my being to be here today. The bandits, as you know, before you took over, had more of a rough history with banditry for fun rather than survival. And it cost me my husband and 4 of my children. These are things that I lost simply because fate deemed it so. I don't hold it against you. I can see that you have the best interest for these people in your heart. And I think that together we can convince... How did you put it? The fuckers in the trees, is that right?
Close enough.
That working together, or at least not fighting each other, will benefit all of us greatly.
How about if you had some collateral?
How do you mean?
You're off.
If you, if you, if you're willing to sit down with the council, discuss terms of ceasefire temporarily, in a joint effort to stop fires, and to be honest, the situation with the gnolls is getting out of hand, that could also be a huge joint effort.
Are you talking about Winton?
We helped them out and found the den. Took out what we could, but those things breed terribly. Small out there, more than likely. There's always more gnolls. But the town still stands.
We had only just heard about the destruction. Didn't know that it was already solved. I just sent out a patrol myself to deal with the issue. At least they were.
Well, there's a very large Panzerbjorn who is helping rebuild at the moment. He's rather hairless. I hope they don't laugh. Kind fellow.
He's just sprinkling people all over this land.
That's the thing about information.
In
By the
terms of
time it
collateral-
reaches the right people, it's already too late.
In terms of collateral, I will stay with you here, while the others go get the council, and then your trusted advisors, members of the council, you will meet up on neutral ground. You will talk, and only talk.
Make a persuasion check. It's a straight roll because you and Gerald have both been doing it, otherwise it would be at disadvantage.
So if I had disadvantage, that would have been a straight roll for me anyway. But if it's a advantage, so
So it would equal out, and if you already have advantage, then yes, you would. Yeah.
roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double advantage and one negative, so.
23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She stares all of you down hard and looks down at the letter that you've put that she hasn't touched, but you've set onto the table, and looks back at you. And now she leans back, grabs the letter, looks back at Frey, and opens it. And after a moment, she looks up at you all and goes, "Years of mistrust. Years of abuse. But a conversation. I make no promises."
Understood.
And I will only make a suggestion. If you decide to agree, have this meeting, he'll look very intently at her, and then at Frey, and then back at her. Do not bring Barnabas. You being at war is profitable to him. I would not trust him with anyone's life, let alone anything else. And he raised me.
I don't trust him. He was part of the old regime and he's fucking useless. He sits on the outside now, much to his chagrin.
How much of the old coalition are you willing to get rid of?
It's going to be part of the issue. There are many here who have been by my side, no issue. And again, just kind of looks over her shoulder a little bit. Those who I know have been loyal to me will continue to stay that way, no matter what armistice we might come up with. Might. Some others might not.
Then I suggest that during this conversation, you take the ones who are most loyal to you. But also keep someone here to make sure that the old ones stay in line. Last thing you want to do is leave, then come back to an absolute rubble.
Thought that's the reason you're staying here.
I'm part of the old regime.
So you know him.
Knew him, advised him, been lied to by him, been fed utter sugar-coated shit on a silver platter.
So you know what to look for then.
I can stomp out the weeds if you like. I have my ways.
We wouldn't be having this conversation at all if it weren't for Frey speaking highly of you all. From what I've heard, if you agree to stay, it might actually be useful.
I will do my best.
I depend on it.
Are we in agreement then?
I agree to a sit down. I promise no more.
That is all we ask. Now, may I notify the people outside of the outcome?
You're now officially our guests. You're allowed to wander. You're allowed to leave. I don't give a shit.
I suppose the term of still being unarmed is in effect. Or is it a case that you trust us not to do anything stupid?
You've seen what we have here now. Is that something you want to fuck with?
Not today. Well, minus the single exception. But that'll have to wait.
When it does come to that, Gerald, can I watch?
Oh, I'd have it no other way. I'm a performer. I love an audience. But we will mind our manners.
Make sure you do.
At which point, Galen will send a message to Red. All of us, including you, are now considered guests. You can come in with the weapons.
Oh, good. Zenzies! We can bring the weapons in. We're guests now.
Buries her face in the boar's fur and screams again.
Gotta get it all out before we head in.
Yeah.
Galen is doing that. Frey just kind of, Benna kind of turns around and gives a nod to Frey, who heads out of the room for a second, and then comes back. And she just goes, well, I've informed those accompanying your friends outside the gates. Should be fine.
Just to be warned, there may be a large boar. It's friendly. You know that bag I have with the little fuzz bowls? That's yeah.
I should be used to you all by now. I'm somehow not. As she's still standing in the doorway, you do see two smaller. One's probably about 13. The other one's about 8. Vulpins that just come like running up and attack her. And she's like, "Oh, all right, fine."
Geralt has got the biggest smile on his face. There.
Summoned.
He's gotten big, that one. I saw him when he was a baby. The other one's almost as tall as you now.
Yeah, I wish they'd stop. Anyway, I'm being summoned. Have fun.
Also, that rat will keep you good company.
Oh. This already met the boys. They've already decided he's staying. Hope you didn't want him around any longer.
I ask one thing, Frey. Take care.
As you say that, you watch as the squirrel clabbers off of her arm, turns back into Nar, and chases the kids down the hallway. Yes.
Take care of him, please.
Like he's my own.
I think he is now. I don't think you got to say that.
No, you really don't.
Glenna's gonna sort of like waddle over. Thank you for your help, dear.
Despite the method, thank you for bringing me home.
Well, if we didn't keep you in chains, Zinzi's probably would have just murdered you on sight, so...
That is a very fair point.
She's terrifying, that little one.
Yes, don't try to kill her again, or I won't be able to save you this time.
None of us will.
I wouldn't dream of it.
I'm gonna look to Gwen and Gerald. I wonder how they're gonna react to me staying here.
Oh, she might shoot you. In the leg or something, but I mean, I for one think you're a bloody fool, but it's also not a terrible idea considering we just performed an hostage exchange. Galen, when we discussed the hostage exchange, it doesn't mean you have to exchange yourself. He just kind of laughs, but puts his hand on his shoulder. I trust you, old man.
Old man. Actually, point. How old is Gerald?
Mid-20s at this point?
Oh no, yeah, that is all. But like Galen's 38.
Yeah, no, he's about 10 years older than Gerald.
At this point, Frey actually kind of peeks around you and goes, "How have you already picked up another stray?"
You've traveled with us long enough to know that we're just a benefit for new friends.
Shall we? It's fine. We're guests. I'm not going to harm you.
Are you sure?
If they do, I will burn them all alive.
Oh, okay.
Out of curiosity, Frey, where's the best place to get some food? I think Shaori and I need to get better acquainted.
Well, there's not so much of a tavern here, but there's a eating hall I can bring you all to. Perhaps that's where your friends can meet you, shall we?
Oh, very well.
And she
That's
kind
on.
of turns and like motions to Benna a little bit. If anyone wants to roll a insight or perception,
Yes,
you
please.
I have advantage.
keep looking at it, even
so
knowing no.
cocked.
The other things about I keep looking at the score, knowing what it is, because I rolled it like 8 times today. But
19.
Ooh,
for insight.
that's a dirty 20.
15.
Shari? 10?
Oh.
Okay.
My damn dice went from a 19 to a 3.
That's,
Oh.
okay. It
That
makes
happens.
sense. Shari hasn't known them long enough, really, to pick up on any of Frey's
Yep.
eccentric.
She's just coming down from being scared shitless.
Yeah. Those of you who everyone else who rolled high enough to notice. There's just a general sense of respect and trust between the two. They obviously go way back. They obviously are good friends. Frey was the right choice to try and convince Benna. Whatever is going on, whatever connection the two of them have, it was a good thing to utilize. So the time that you took trying to convince Frey was worth it.
Yay! We did something good.
I have. As they're heading towards the eating hall, Gerald is going to pat Galen and then Frey on the shoulder, and he's going to slip back, and he is going to slip away for a bit. He'll just kind of tap both of them. Save some food for me.
Okay.
And he is going to.
I would like to insight Gerald on what the fuck he's about to do.
Okay.
Sure.
I have my suspicions, but a natural 20.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Total of 21, by the way.
So what do I need to roll?
That would so either roll your persuasion or deception, whichever one you think fits this particular circumstance, and text me the number you get.
Okay.
In the meantime, while that's happening, Zinzi's in red. The guards who are out there end up getting a message from those on the parapets. And you are now allowed in. The door has been reopened. Are you entering?
Yes.
Very reluctantly, yes.
Okay.
And she's just gonna sit on top of her boar.
Yep.
Dude, did you mean to put that in the Humblewood chat?
You're muted.
You're a hot mess right now.
I'm a hot mess. No, I did not initially intend that. That was my bad. I clicked the wrong thing.
To be fair, like, I wasn't looking at my phone, so I don't know what it is.
Zinzi's and Red, now that you are entering, you see the same things that these guys have seen when they entered. It's more built up than you expected. There are children running around. There's people of, all different humble folk origin here. Not everyone's wearing armor, but there are quite a lot in armor. You see some sparring, some laughing, families going by. It's certainly interesting.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
But alright.
I don't know where to go in here.
Sorry, say that again. You glitched out on
Wait,
me.
what did you say to me?
I just said this is very weird.
Yeah. I still don't trust it.
I don't blame you on that. Maybe we should just go find the others.
Maybe.
In the meantime, do you think they have booze here?
I would think so.
I ran out. Need more.
I can tell.
Is that supposed to be an insult?
Oh, you could take it that way.
Well, I don't.
Good.
She'll like ruffle Zinzi's
Mhm.
fur.
Mhm.
And Red will start going to search for the group.
Okay.
Then these will follow.
All right. We're gonna do that one last thing for Gerald, and then we will call it a night. I'll give you guys a chance to regroup. Okay. In that case, we'll worry about what Gerald does next week. I'll just allow him to slip away, and then you guys can have your meetup
Mhm.
when Mitch comes back, because he's the one who rolled the insight check.
Okay.
What do I tell him for insight?
Oh, you just want to text him?
Well, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, no. It's basically, he just gets the sense that it's nothing to be worried about. He's not sure what you're up to, though.
Have a thing.
Zinzi's and Red. Make
Yes.
investigation or perception checks. Either one.
For what?
Perception.
Investigation or perception. Because you guys.
Investigation is better for me. 19.
Okay.
I'm gonna do perception. Boopity beep beep beep. God, I'm rolling so bad. That's 10.
Okay. As you guys are walking along, you see you are being led by one person who is outside.
Mhm.
He was just leading you to where he thought the group might be, and then as you're walking, you watch your group of friends start to head in towards a building with Frey. Well, actually, Frey just stays outside, and then Zinzi's, you spot your group, and Frey spots you, and just kind of waves to you for a little bit, and then gives you like one of these, and walks away.
Oh no, Zinzi's has all the weapons. All the weapons.
Speaking of weapons, I would like to tug on Gwendolyn's robe or something and get her attention, and ask her if she would accompany me to go get my equipment from the cell room.
Of course, dear.
And I would, yeah, I would go up there with her, and then
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the same chipmunk.
yeah,
Sitting there.
yeah.
And he's like,
I think I'll thaumaturgy the door open, just to give him a quick start.
why?
Walk in. I am a guest now. I would like my equipment, please.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't locked.
Thaumaturgy the chest open, I reach in, grab my backpack, my mace, and my shield.
Thank you so much for the water earlier, dear. And she's gonna pat his cheek.
Y'all are weird, man. I don't know.
Don't make me get Galen.
You got it with pride, dear. And she sort of like puts her nose up, turns around, and sort of waddles away.
Yep. And I'll finish up after her and slam the door closed with thaumaturgy. Just to leave him kind of... What?
Yeah, as you're walking away, you hear the fuck just happened, man?
We are giving this planet such an existential crisis. It's so great.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just give that guard some shit and get my stuff back.
Going back to what's basically a giant mess hall. You guys are able to, get food, gather, meet up with your friends, and that's where we're gonna leave it for tonight.
Fuck, I thought we were done for with that negotiations.
Yeah. Like, I had no idea what was happening as she wouldn't, but that was intense.
That could have gone so many different ways. You said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if like Gwen's backstory is like helping at all. She's just like, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. And Gerald was being honest. Like, just because he left, there are people here, Frey included, that he didn't stop thinking of as like a family, because they were all he knew for the majority, for almost 20 years. They were all he knew.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, there are good people here. Like, some of these families were people that I knew, or at least saw when I was here. They were refugees then. They're still refugees. They're just trying to make a life here. Like, sure, there are bastards, but like, his perspective is very different. He's off. So, and I'm not going to reveal what he's doing, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
We'll do all that next week. And
Next
keep that
time.
in mind. Or sorry, yeah, next time, not next week. Next week is Pandora.
Next week is Circus of... Oops.
With that in mind, for anyone who decided to stick it out, thank you for watching. I hope you all had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope my players enjoyed playing it. I know we've been super role-play heavy these past couple ones, but that's still awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are sticking with me on this journey.
Welcome, Taryn. Welcome to the group.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm excited for the introduction and the opportunity to play.
You have brought a bean into a group of angsty people.
Oh, I am such a protector being. I don't have any offensive spells except for cantrips. I am support.
I love it so much.
Support bean. Instead of support beam, it's support bean.
I am the sensu bean.
Thank you guys for joining, and thank you for watching. We're going to end our stream here, but we will see you all during any of our numerous games. Check them all out. Have a good night. Bye.
I'm out.
I...
Right, that is me to bed because it's fucking late.
Yeah. It is.
Have a good